It'll come to me.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Burnt White Toast Podcast. This podcast is sponsored by Salami Social Club. You know, that pizza spot in Berlin that you think you've seen these two guys from before, where we hand-make sourdough pizza, give it nothing but love with the best ingredients sourced from only the most spectacular places, where the pizza always rocks and the party never stops. And we're off.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Burnt White Toast Podcast.
Rock and roll, bitch.
Go.
Yeah. So, for those of you that are watching us on Twitch, just make sure you can
Sorry, I was
look
ready
into
for that.
the chat that we have going at hashtag Burnt White Toast. The one and only awesomeness. And with these two crazy fucknuts. Welcome back.
Sorry, I wasn't ready for that.
That was smooth as could be. Don't you
Great
worry about it,
job.
sir. Smooth as could be. So, what do we got going in Berlin this week? This week, I believe, still going on for the next week is the Bodies exhibit. Museum, I believe you have Berlin Alley, the film festival.
Bodies exhibit.
Yes, Berlin Alley, the film festival is going on for the next little bit as well. Berlin's own version of, what would you call that? The Aspen Circle Jerk Festival.
That's exactly what I'd call it.
Nailed it.
Berlin Alley, the Circle Jerk Project.
Yeah. What else
Bodies
is going on?
exhibit.
Yeah, the Bodies exhibit.
Oh, you're talking the one where they rip at all the cadavers.
The one that was in James Bond. Yeah, you can go and give your body to the exhibit of.
Berlin's body exhibit.
Yeah, I believe that's still going. You can check it out. Otherwise, every day during the weekdays until 8 o'clock, you can go to the Video Game Museum, which, for anyone who lives in Berlin, little did you know, essentially has a working arcade inside of it, which we highly suggest. I say we.
We should go there.
For me and our new half narrator, Bob.
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 His name is Robert Paulson.
His name was Robert Paulson. So in death, we have names. His name was Robert Paulson.
Oh, now we're live.
Sick! I love delay. Just enough time for us to bleep out the fucks, nuts, and
Titties and tatties.
shitty Tic Tacs.
Ooh, it's gonna...
So, what else? You got anything else going on in Berlin?
Oh.
Over at our sponsored Salami Social Club, we have Slice Night going on every Thursday. We're from Frankfurt Rally. Come join the party. Be part of the neighborhood.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Euro slices of pizza. Lots of chaos and, you know, a lot of the situations that you shouldn't talk about after.
Stuff you don't want to get into.
Yeah.
Or maybe you do.
With a bunch of the pirates. that are around. So, how you doing these days, Steven?
Nothing. How did you like the Super Bowl?
Huh? To be honest, I didn't watch it all. Break it down for me. Yeah. We went right into it.
Going right into the
Yeah.
Super Bowl. Well, that's the fucking funniest thing going on right now. Internet's going crazy because once again it was a fucking big old circle jerk of fucking nothingness that happened. Probably the worst Super Bowl I've ever watched the highlights of.
Is there ever going to be a year that goes by that someone doesn't say that?
Yeah, there should be if the games were good. But this game was shit. I fell asleep, I think, within the first 5 minutes of the game. I was going to go to a buddy's house and watch the game, but then, started watching it, and I just passed out. It was so boring. Like, it was so bad. Just like, oh, God, this is going to be terrible. But yeah, it was super boring. Halftime show was a fucking mess.
Who was the halftime show?
Maroon 5.
It wasn't Maroon 5.
Yeah.
Well, that was guaranteed to be shit then.
And so I decided to watch it.
Sorry, you fans, but not
Jesus,
sorry.
Man, it was like, it was bad. It was like
Scale
after
of 1
they
to
played
10.
one song, right, and then they're like, the guy that needs no introduction, and then some rapper came out, Travis Scott.
Yeah, he definitely needs an introduction.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I was like, who the fuck is this guy? Like, I don't know if you can bring up the video right now.
Yeah, I can
Great, just the halftime show. Because fuck the game. Like, Patriots won, but Jesus, that was terrible.
Do people still watch the Super Bowl for the commercials?
I mean, I guess I would have if I was awake. Like, I would have stopped watching the game and just drank beer and watched the commercials.
What's your favorite Super Bowl commercial you've seen thus far?
The best one is going to be the What's Up one.
Yeah, Budweiser.
What's
the old
up?
Budweiser commercials. Not even
Hey,
that.
man, what you doing? What's up?
Didn't they have the one with the two? Oh, here we go.
A National Football League.
Oh, you know what the NFL did? They took down the video because it got so many dislikes, and they re-uploaded it just because of so many dislikes.
Yeah, but that's pretty smart.
I mean,
America. Is he a Marine?
I'm already bored. Like, this guy just
But
had-
Justin Timberlake did better than this, though.
Of course he did. Justin Timberlake actually fucking took it to the house. Jesus.
Justin Timberlake did do pretty epic. I'm gonna give him that.
Fucking real well. I did it.
He had the microphone flip. You remember that?
Talk about a boring band.
They have
Holy
a
shit.
12-year-old on the keyboards there. Did you see that? Yeah, but come on. You know he's a real rock star because his guitarist has long hair. I find it interesting though that he talks in a level of like a voice that's an octave higher than anyone can talk normally, period. I think he was chemically castrated. I'm gonna throw it out there.
God, this is so.
I do like
They do have great pop hits, but Jesus Christ, they're fucking. This is so boring. Your fucking Super Bowl halftime show. I mean, where's your fucking cool
your-
Michael Jackson intro? Like,
Where's your 23 backup dancers?
Like-
That's what I want to know. I'm gonna. Yeah, keep going.
yeah.
Where are we going?
Go to like 3 minutes. There you go.
Okay. Holy shit, he can play guitar.
Who needs no introduction?
What? Please tell me SpongeBob comes out of the stage.
What the fuck is going on?
Yes! I love 1994 graphics.
It's cool because it all gets edited out.
Who is this?
I don't fucking Travis Scott, right? I don't know.
You say right like I'm supposed to know that.
I don't fucking know. I thought I was supposed to know, but they're like, oh yeah, this guy, yeah. Apparently, whatever. And then, whatever his name is, does like a striptease at the end of it. On the last one.
We're just gonna give the highlight reel here.
Highlight of the halftime show.
Highlight of the halftime show.
the best part.
Exactly
Fuck the
30
game.
seconds of 13 minutes.
Sorry, I'm gonna fix this fucking shit. I'm sorry for fucking touching this guy.
This? Is what you're talking about, striptease?
Huh? Just go to the fucking like last 30 seconds.
Grotesque body shots.
Last song they're singing moves like Jagger, but he doesn't move like Jagger at all.
Dude, he's a Magic Mike. That is a Magic Mike moment. Does he even need to sing? That's a Magic Mike moment.
Yeah, it's boring, right? I don't know. Maybe you're attracted to his nipples, but I'm just kind of bored.
Maybe I am. Oh, third guitar switch.
2 out of 5, only because Adam Levine fucking got naked.
That'd be like if John Mayer went up there and sang his Body's a Wonderland. Just the first hits. Give me something new. Give me some power. Apparently he thinks
Remember
he's
when
Prince.
Prince did the Super Bowl? Man, I have to. God damn, I was there.
Yes. You know what? Let's compare it to
dude.
that. Let me show you.
Nah, fucking put on the Michael Jackson one and just watch the intro of that shit.
I forgot. Michael Jackson did a halftime show?
Fuck yeah, he did. He fucking brought the world together. Like, talk about a guy that was ahead of the times, you know? Singing songs about love and happiness. Who does that? Togetherness? Black and white people
Ladies
coming
and
together.
gentlemen, Radio City Music Hall Productions and the National Football League proudly present an unprecedented Super Bowl spectacular starring Michael Jackson.
Yeah, right. Oh, please tell me aerobic dancers come running out in this. Blazer! Blazer! Okay, that was fucking cool. That'd be cool today. He came out of the TV. He came out of the TV.
Just wait for it.
It's back when the Super Bowls are played in open stadiums.
Michael Jackson forever.
Michael Jackson forever. Appreciate you, Bob.
Like 5 minutes, Michael Jackson standing on stage. Awesome.
Yeah, but you know you're a fucking rock star when you get to stand on stage for 5 minutes. You don't have to say anything, and you still have a standing ovation going. Like, some next level shit.
I'm gonna waste 5 minutes of my performance just standing here.
You think he factored it in? You think there's some producer in the background who's just freaking out, going, everything needs to be pushed back 5 minutes now? This asshole came on stage.
Oh, he moved.
Times are different.
Go forward a bit. Going to
Because this use of the negative space, I am all about.
no, there's no negative space.
See what I mean? You're a rock star if you have a guitarist that has long hair. Period. Yes.
Look at all those sweatshirts.
That footwork, man. Come on! Come on, man! Please! How good do you think he was at Ultimate Frisbee? Just from his hat? Just from the hat throws? That's a fucking rock star, though. That's what a rock star looks like. Or a pop star, whatever.
There is fucking thing of everything.
Well, you can see the producers off the stage dancing with it. Right? It's like the next act that's on there. It's just like, yes.
Epic.
I just love all these songs too much. I can't even turn it off. Wait, is this the one where his hair gets set on fire and he spins it out?
No.
No? You sure?
Keep going. Wait until he brings out the flags. The flags are the best part.
It's black or white.
Yeah, think about controversial if he fucking played this song, like in the Super Bowl today.
Doesn't matter, it'd still be a hero. This is Michael Jackson we're talking about now.
Don't matter if you're black or white. Oh yeah, it does.
Bigger
yeah, it
than
does.
Jesus.
God damn.
Bigger than Jesus. Is that not what the Beatles said?
Wait, go forward and bring it. When the flags come out.
The flags already came out, I thought.
This big old epic. Not the ball. Still there? Oh no, it's there. I don't know. They're big flags of his black hand and his white hand shaking hands, and it's just like awesome.
That is the.
But then
king
the
of
last
pop,
song
man.
he plays is the what's that?
Like how it feels like you just watched this yesterday, man.
Well, no, you can tell. Like,
Even better is I like that directly
I just
behind
remember
you.
the big fucking flags.
There's a picture of member berries. So you're having a moment.
Anyway, so in conclusion, basically, Maroon 5 sucks.
Pop stars aren't what they used to be, and if Michael Jackson
They really
was still
fucked up
alive,
the Super Bowl this year. I mean, god damn it, that game was so fucking
what
boring.
was even playing?
You had like
I should listen-
the whole theme of it was fucking shit show boring. Like it was the Patriots and the LA Rams versus New England Patriots.
Patriots win.
Yeah, they ended
Of course
up
the
winning,
Patriots
but
win.
like there was no score until maybe around halftime. I think the Patriots scored a
Now
field
this
goal.
game is going to be all about the offense and the defense.
That was the whole talk, and then like half of it was like, oh, this is a game about the defenses. Shit. So you mean it's gonna be a boring game?
Is it not always going to be about the defenses though?
No,
You
no,
start by
not at
building
all.
a team. How do you start building a hockey team?
You get a goalie.
Exactly. Where does that begin? Defense.
Yeah, but that's hockey. This isn't football. Football, you get the quarterback, and then you get some guys that can catch and run the ball.
Yeah, where's the factor of a
I don't
linebacker though? I don't
Depends.
know.
It's two different fucking things. It's not like it's like if hockey you had
An offensive team
you
and
had
a
an
defensive
offensive
team.
and you had to change the team out every time. But this is football. It's more like chess.
That's kind of why football sucks though. You got to change it out all the time. You got to go the back and forth. Give me a constant. That's why I like Australian football so much.
Yeah, but it's different. It's like golf. Like golf, some people find fucking really boring.
Golf is really boring. Golf wasn't boring when a black dude was dominating. Because that was fucking awesome. It was like the definition of every angry old white racist dude and then watching the young next generation stomp them. That was entertaining. I went to a PGA and I'm sorry, but it was like everyone who went to go see. Dude, he was a rock star. I saw the I saw the PGA though, and like he was throwing his golf balls out after he got the holes to the crowd, and people were freaking out.
Yeah.
That doesn't happen in golf.
Sure it does. What are you
no.
talking? You just haven't watched it recently.
Okay, give it to me recently. What's recently going on?
Fucking know. I don't watch
Exactly.
golf.
See, but if there was a rock star like Tiger Woods playing again, that was in his prime, going
What about
that
when
domination.
McIlroy was fucking dominating?
What, in tennis?
No, the golf player.
There's a McIlroy golf player?
Yeah, right.
No,
The
I
Irish
thought that
guy.
was just tennis.
No,
Or we just sound like idiots and people
the
are
fucking
yelling
golf
at their
guy.
screen like usual.
no nobody's yelling.
Can you just get one fact right?
No, it's seriously like I don't know if he's still doing good or not. He was the fucking young kid that started winning the Masters and fucking started dominating. Rory, that's his name. Rory McIlroy.
Rory McIlroy.
Yeah, he's
Rory
still
McIlroy?
dominating. Yeah, he's still fucking killing it.
How do you spell Rory?
Rory.
R-O-R-Y.
McIlroy. McIlroy. MCLL Roy. Rory McIlroy. Nah, he's fucking just dominant. He was a rock star for a bit. I don't know who the fucking top dog is right now. He might still be it. I don't know. I stopped watching golf years ago. But he was the last.
After watching Day hit his tee shot, he may have taken a little more club.
Good shot, man.
Boy, that is an excellent shot on that lower level.
You know what I don't understand about golf is how the English that they put on the ball, the top spin and the backspin. I understand how you can get backspin on the ball.
50.
What do you mean?
Well, you got the English, right? It's kind of like pool. You're looking for ball placement after your strike, and so upon it, sometimes you want the ball to roll backwards or you want the ball to roll forwards.
Alright.
So how do you put the topspin English on it? Like a backspin, you want to get under it. But if you want to get over it, the point of forward spin is so that when you're doing your drive, for instance, you go farther down the fairway, then your forward bounce has the most momentum to keep going.
So if you look at the ball like a sphere, right? Which
Yeah.
is, if you hit the top of the ball,
Slow enough. Oh,
if you hit it
not a bad spot.
right here, the top of the ball, it's going to go forward and roll forward, right?
Well,
so if you hit the bottom of it, it's gonna fucking do
yes,
that.
but the point is that if you hit it above the center point,
Yeah.
that for you to get the most loft in the first place, wouldn't you still get more? I suppose
No.
if you're, it kind of depends if like you're hitting it downhill. If you're teeing
If you hit
off,
it straight on and it just goes straight, then it's just gonna go straight. If you hit it more towards the top,
yes, but it stands to reason that if you hit it towards the top, the initial trajectory that you give it is going to mean that your vector is going to be more straight as opposed to being at a more upward angle, which means that your forward spin is not always going to do the most if you don't clear something.
that depends.
Yeah. I mean, I suppose it depends on the talent of the golfer.
Yeah, I don't know what I'm talking about either. So
Me neither. But I never know what I'm talking about. It's fine. Made it this far. Made it this far.
That's the way I learned playing golf. I used to play golf.
Yeah, when I'd see, so did I, but I was never good at it. And I mean, I would hit balls in a really ghetto-ass fucking golf range. I'm much more a fan of pool, but it's still going to fall into the same mechanics when it comes to
Like
the
it.
English on a ball, right?
Yeah, kinda.
Kind
You're
of.
hitting it with a stick.
But I find pool so much more interesting than golf. If you have to choose a sport that other people find boring, I'm going to choose that over bowling or golf any day of the week.
Pool is more accessible though. That's the thing. Like it's way
Well,
more
for sure.
accessible to go to. You don't have to spend $1 million to go fucking play at a nice resort.
You don't have poor people taxes
It's a
on
poor
there.
people. It's a poor people sport.
I once asked a guy in Germany, and it was like, don't you find it slightly disturbing that you have to have insurance to be a golfer and then you have to pay golf tax?
I mean, you
Doesn't
don't-
that kind of
you don't
seem like
really.
an obstacle?
You don't
No,
really.
You have to have insurance, yeah, for a lot of places to play on. This golf course that he was on, along with most of them that I've looked at. We can Google it. That's why I got fact checkers. Doesn't matter black or white. Well, in the meantime, what else is going on? I've been getting super into. I was just watching a video on Mandella Effect again. Sure, I know, woo woo, whatever. But it was going through.
We're in the wrong universe because that Super Bowl should have been fucking great.
Was the question on whether
There, segue.
you can explain it through
Which
false
universe
memory.
was the Super Bowl great in? Sorry.
Yeah, no. Well,
Keep going.
we can segue that actually. Let's reverse that one back there. So, what's the best Super Bowl that you remember?
Best one I remember was the 2008. The New York Giants versus the Patriots, with the whole Giants comeback and winning against the undefeated Patriots. That was fucking epic. I remember that shit. That was great. Watched that in college. It was fucking good. With the helmet catch. Remember the helmet catch?
No.
Yeah, the
Oh,
helmet
it
catch.
bounced off of the helmet.
When Eli Manning was scrambling with the ball, and it was the last play they could do, and Patriots get a hold of him, but somehow Eli Manning fucking runs away from him and just fucking hucks a fucking ball up in the air. One of the receivers comes up and just goes up, one arm down. The ball just like lands against his helmet, and then he just presses against his helmet, and then like falls back and somehow miraculously catches it. The helmet catch. Yeah, it's pretty epic.
See.
Yeah. Sorry.
Now, here's the question. So, when
Did
people
that actually happen that way?
Exactly.
Probably. Yeah,
exactly.
It did.
But that's where I get it. So
Look it up.
Human memory is based off of you don't remember something, you remember the memory of something, right? We've been talking about this recently, haven't
Yeah.
we? Is it you? Yeah. So when your body's remembering something, it doesn't remember the actual event, but you're only remembering the memory of it. Which means every time you remember the memory of it, every time you remember it another time, you're remembering the memory of your memory. Which means you're essentially playing a game of telephone with yourself. Which means over time, the older a memory is and the longer back it is, the more times that you remember it, the more chances of it being false in one manner or another is. And this is where people's memories are actually, like, not good at all. And we all think that we remember things better than we actually do, when the truth of the matter is, chances are we're forgetting it. It just became a reality in our head because of us remembering the memory that way.
Is this you justifying your memory?
No. This is research.
Are you playing telephone with yourself?
This is research coming from me realizing and accepting how shit my memory is. Thank you very much.
Research coming from you.
Yes.
Okay.
So I've started to go.
So you're justifying your memory.
No, that's not justification.
You're playing memory with yourself.
What are you
or
talking
memory,
about?
You're playing telephone. That makes sense.
that's-
No, it makes sense.
it's-
I get where you're coming
Yes,
from. I
but
get
that's
you.
how humans work.
I get you.
Some of us
I get
just
you.
like so.
I don't really play telephone with myself.
But if like you're a self-aware person and you're going back and reflecting upon the stuff that's in your past on an everyday basis, does that mean that the chances of your memory becoming false are more likely just because you're a more conscientious person? If you go back and you know what I'm saying?
If you're saying
like, is
you're
it
not going to remember things to the T 100%, like that Super Bowl I just described. Like, was it 2007, 2008? Was it 2009? I don't know.
See, really, it was 2003.
No, it was freshman year in college. Fuck you, I remember this shit.
False memory.
I remember
False memory.
everybody was pissed off that the Patriots lost. Running through the dorms. Oh, yeah, fucking.
It's because a bunch of children bet their tuition on it.
Yeah, fuck yeah. Daddy ain't getting paid today. Ooh, excuse me.
Squeezed. But, do you think that's the case, though? You think that's possible? So, like, if someone is more self-reflective, that there's a higher chance that their memories are actually false just because they've had more time to remember it wrong. Shut up, phone.
It's just the majority of people remembering it wrong.
I think technology just farted on our
well,
table.
that's just that's why the Mandela Effect.
Berenstain Bears or Berenstain Bears?
That's why the Mandela Effect's so popular, because people think they remember stuff, and then someone else says, "Oh, it was like this," and you're just like, "Well, yeah, maybe it was." I don't actually completely remember.
Shut up, technology!
Fucking
Get it out of here!
Oh shit! I almost fucking chucked it at the window. That's cool. That'd been
So,
great.
Berenstain Bears, Berenstain Bears.
What was it going on?
Mandela Effect. Why
Yeah,
it's so
so
popular.
it's like a majority of people saying like, "Oh, Mandela didn't die." Just like, "Oh, I didn't remember Mandela died." "Oh, you're right. This is the actual thing." Berenstain Bears.
Well, this is...
That was just maybe, I don't know.
Well, what I was looking at today, which kind of brought this up, was that in this interjection through it, it actually connected to... So there's a... And this is just strictly a thought experiment. This is completely a thought experiment. Two scientists or two smart people back in the day, one of them ended up winning a Nobel Peace Prize off of this, oddly enough, put together they started having a conversation based off the fact that they were asking, why is it that all electrons are of the same weight and have the same charge? Why is it that all positrons have it then in the negative space?
What's a positron?
Positron is going to be the positive charge.
Positronic. You talking about?
We can break down here.
You talking about Lieutenant Commander Data?
Well, essentially, it ended up being
Positronic brain.
The question experiment is what happens if all electrons are actually the same electron. They're just in displacement in different places, and it's essentially like us as 3D beings are looking at a 2D being and trying to explain it, when our entire universe can be made up of a 2D world. We're just one step
You're saying that
deeper.
every atom is the same, they're just all displaced.
This specifically was going to electrons, because atoms don't work the same way. But that would be talking out of my ass. Going that way.
A proton and a neutron equal an electron. So if all electrons are the same,
So protons and neutrons are in the center nucleus of the atom. A proton is positive and an electron is negative. Neutron has no charge, and the charge in the proton and electrons are exactly the same size but opposite. The same number of protons and electrons exactly cancel one another in a neutral atom. So what they're saying is that an electron itself, imagine it now as being in a 2D dimension, right? So you got this thing that can only move forward and back, and it can move left and right. So forward and back in this thought experiment describe a positive charge and a negative charge. Left and right are going forward in time, and left is then going backwards in time. And this is, once again, just a thought experiment.
So,
and
it's linear time, it's not 2D. It's a linear time, is what you're saying.
Well, it is linear
2D.
time, yes, but because they can only move in a 2D plane, going through as if it's only positive and it's only negative, it means that it starts to become more binary. And so by being a positive, you go into
what you're even getting at here. So you're talking linear time. So you have a timeline. You have forward and back.
Yes.
That's it.
Neutrons move forward in time, and protons move backwards in time.
Says who?
It's the thought experiment. It's just an experiment that a dude ended up winning a Nobel Peace Prize from.
Okay.
And it was the question of why is it that all neutrons weigh exactly the same? Why do the neutrons
Is it
have to
him
be
just
positive?
saying that they're going forward?
It was the conversation. No, the point was because it's positive charged, it's moving forward in space. Because the proton is negative charged, the proton is moving backwards in space. And so if you were to look at it in linear time,
he's just putting those labels on there.
Well, it wasn't just one person; it was several. We can look it up too, real quick. But yeah, it was just a weird thing I was looking at this morning.
So electrons move forward. Sorry, I'm looking for the God argument in this. Like, where are you getting at? There's some missing piece of information here.
Single neuron theory. That's a completely different theory, actually.
But anyway.
Yeah. Anyway,
it works. Let's go.
Yeah.
Keep going.
Sure. No, it was just because then the argument ended up coming down to, so if, let's say in quantum theory, right? So you looking at quantum particle don't know if it's going to be, is not a quantum particle, whatever. You don't know if it's going to be positive or negative until you look at it. Once you look at it, it's then assigned. And so if you want to go through this parallel universe theory of the Mandella Effect, which is how this all connects back, then you have to think about the fact of what infinite actually is. An infinite actually is, that means that every decision that we possibly have ever made, there's a chance that it's been made in the opposite direction, right? Which means, for instance, Nelson Mandela, there's one universe where he died in prison, and then there's another universe where he ended up becoming president. And think about how crazy that is. Just like how far and how different your life can be. You know what was the difference in time between... It was a very short period of time between the time that Nelson Mandela left prison and he ended up becoming president.
Well, here's where the fucking multiverse theory gets fucking
Nelson Mandela released from prison. Nelson Mandela, leader of the movement to the end South African apartheid, is released from prison after 27 years in February 11th, 1990, and he became president. Drop you. That's your citation for your world. And then in, what was it, 1990, so he was released in 1990?
Here's where it gets crazy with the multiverse thing.
Hit me.
So we say every decision...
1994.
There was
4
every
years.
Decision.
4 years after he got out of prison, he became the leader of a country after being in prison for 27 years.
Yeah.
Think about that, though. Think about that.
Yeah, he had influence.
How can you even run a country Like, if you get out of, if you've
He had
been,
influence before he went to jail.
but
Like,
he was in
wasn't,
prison
like-
for 27 years.
Yeah,
This
yeah.
is. Did you watch
And then he
Battlestar
built a
Galactica?
fucking- no.
Oh,
Not all of it. Jesus.
okay. There's
fuck.
an entire deal in
Like-
there about this guy who's been in prison forever, and then he comes out and he becomes like a politician, and he's like broken in prison. However, in that case, it's a bit more negative because it's more like he is doing it for his legacy. Multiverse, hit me.
Anyway, so where's I going? So the crazy thing about the multiverse is if you say there's a point where you make a decision and in other universes a million bajillion infinite amount of other possibilities happened, right?
Yeah.
So that's just looking at it like at one decision. But if you think about like in a time sense, like how often are these infinite universes actually created off of our decisions that we're not actually making?
Everyone.
You know, like
apparently.
even beyond like slowing down time to as slow as it can go. Like you think the amount of infinite possibilities that are actually happening on the infinity scale of time. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
if this was time slowed down to 1 second, like
Well, according to this infinite,
slowing that down, slowing that down, slowing that down.
There
You
is-
have infinity on infinity.
there's
on
more
infinity,
numbers in
infinity.
infinity than there are numbers outside of infinity.
So basically, it's saying any
sorry, infinite fractions.
possibilities that aren't even possible are actually possibly happening. Like,
Well, like,
insane. That's
you
what
fall
gets
into the idea then that if there's infinite possibilities and the universe itself is expanding and arguably almost infinite in its own right, does that mean that in one universe there's another planet that's been the same way as Earth-like?
yeah, of course.
And that there's
Infinitely.
another infinite, or it's another universe where Earth has come to be, but it's not Earth, and yet there's also a you or a me, or a version of you and me in there, who then also has infinite choices upon their life.
And then there's an infinite.
So there's an
possibility of that.
infinite possibilities of the
like-
infinite possibilities of you.
Right. So it's like that's where it gets fucky. That's what I'm saying. Like,
Like, you can't. It's people can't comprehend.
well, you
infinite.
can't. You can't. Like, I can't even comprehend it. Like, it doesn't make sense, but it does. You know, like it's infinite on infinite on infinite on.
Well, this is just it. Like, I was.
So it's like, whoa.
I just watched the video like 3 times and I still can't comprehend it. But it had to do with infinite fractions and that there's more infinite fractions and more numbers that fall into the infinite fraction category than there is infinite. But yet infinite is an open number.
But also,
Kind of?
some
Like, it has no
infinites are actually
beginning,
bigger
it
than
has no
other
end, but it
infinites,
does.
And other infinites are actually bigger than others.
Yes. What is it? This is the
That's
paradox
just
where, like,
like-
if you were to see, this was it. This is the paradox. So if you take a pie, and so now you split the pie into 4 pieces, right? And you keep adding a slice into it, and so the fraction keeps growing for the amount of slices you have. Given the fact that a number can always be divided if you drop it down to smallest decimal points, it means that technically speaking, that pie can have an infinite number of slices in it.
Correct.
And that's the fuck, because
Yeah.
that means that there's an infinite number in a finite number.
Right. Yeah. Like. Yeah. Pretty much.
So, that leads us to our question of the day. Does it even matter? Do we even matter? What is the
Was that
point?
Super Bowl worth it?
Exactly. Went from the Super Bowl to infinite. What is the point?
Exactly.
Michael
Exactly.
Jackson existed, and I'm not him. Damn it.
Excuse me.
Check. Knew we'd get that in there.
Doesn't even
No,
matter.
it doesn't even matter. What is I'm one who believes in motivation and constantly trying to prove yourself and self-reflection. This self-reflection I have on my own memory and acceptance that it's shit and I want to get it better has led me down this hole of going in its own stuff.
Well, here's the
We
thing.
talked-
You got to stop playing telephone with yourself.
Yeah, it is impossible.
It's not.
You can't not play telephone with yourself
Sure
based
you
off
can.
the way that it works, which means
Uh-huh.
at the end of the day, this also means for
you
everyone
can.
who says that my memory is shit,
Because I'm not.
theirs is also
Here's
just
the
as
thing,
shit.
that with my my
That's
Super
how
Bowl
I connect
reference,
it.
I'm not remembering the last time I remembered the Super Bowl. I'm remembering that moment that happened.
Where were you? What did it smell like?
What did it smell like? I
don't know why that was the first thing I went to, but it was.
one of the apartments in Duluth. We're watching the Super Bowl in one of the apartments. Can't remember who was there. There were about 2 other people there. I don't remember, but it was on a big screen TV. Yeah, we were drinking Bud Light. 'Cause why not? Yeah, and that was it. Can't remember what the apartments were called though.
Was it in
Huh?
college?
Yeah,
I was
that's
just
what I
talking
said.
to
It was in
someone about.
Duluth. It was in one of the dorms.
Have you
the
ever
apartment
experienced?
dorms.
That actually kind of reminds me of the Great Lakes. We were just looking at this morning with Jack, the roomie. He was going through and saying that. So did you know that on the Great Lakes are so big? Because I was trying to get him to reference and get a point of view of like the difference how when you're looking at a Great Lake inside the States, like Superior, whatnot. Superior is what's relevant for us. That to view it from the shoreline, it has the same scale as an ocean. You can't see the end in any direction. It seems beyond massive. However, the shoreline itself does not work in the same way as an ocean, because an ocean itself has the
I mean,
tides.
kind of. If you're looking at like from Minnesota to Canada, yeah, there's not a way to see the actual end, but you can see the curve of Wisconsin from Duluth, let's say,
Yes.
and you can see around to where Wisconsin is, but beyond that, yeah.
Did you know that, like, I believe it was actually Lake Superior, is so big that there's islands on it that are so big that they have lakes. Those lakes are big enough that they have islands inside them, and then those islands are big enough that they have a lake within them that then has an island, which means there's
What?
an island that
You're
falls
crazy, man.
within 4 lakes off of one.
Bullshit.
We just fucking...
No way.
Yeah.
I
Jack
don't
was just showing me it on Google Maps earlier. Pretty crazy. Island within an island within an island within an island. How does that even work? Can you be an island and still have an island within yourself? I suppose so.
Well, all right, hold on.
And why don't you bring the flag? So we're going to add into the studio a little bit here.
I'm putting that up in my room.
Selfish.
Oh, you talk. Okay. I guess that's an island, right?
All right?
Technically,
Technically, if you are a
Isle Royale.
body of land that is surrounded
Yeah,
by
it's
water
that-
on all
it's that
sides,
Big ass fucking.
you are thus an island.
There's that one, and there's the Michipicoten,
I mean, I suppose
Island,
that the
which
smallest...
has lakes. So I guess that's an island. Yeah, sure.
It's not a question of whether or not it's an island. It's a question of for the smallest
Ah, but that
one
one's called Pie Island.
called...
Perch Lake. I bet there's a lot of perch.
Please tell
in
me
that
it's
thing.
like latitude, longitude 3.425.
There's a couple. There's a couple.
Pretty cool though, right?
Never really thought about that.
The world's a pretty crazy place.
Never really thought about them being fucking big ass islands. Who lives out there? Outer Island. Ooh, that'd be a cool one to live on.
It'd be cooler if Outer Island had
They're pretty
inner
big
island.
too. Never really thought about those. But there are lakes on those lakes, and then there's islands in those islands. That's weird.
How much thought do you think
Fucking
some
crazy.
people put into naming something?
None.
If you're an explorer, this is what I'm saying. This is what I said. You get these people like...
If you're an explorer and you're fucking walking around, you're just like, okay, that's fucking Tom's cabin. Why'd it go there?
God, why'd you
Why'd I
have to
have to
go
go
there? Why is that the first thing that comes to your mind, you fucking racist?
I don't know what I was thinking, dude. It was, what do you mean? It was Tom's...
No, wait, come on. But this is Renata, too. Their outside thing is called Tom's Cabin. Oh. Hey there, Bob. What's going on there, Bob? Hey, bud. Sorry, I didn't mean to pinch your ass. It's okay. Member. Can't even read this. Member. King Bob or this guy. Sonic the Hedgehog. I don't understand that. I need a translation. You got a translation there for me, King
What's
Bob?
that?
That's Sonic the Hedgehog. You remember when games were still hard and difficult?
Of course.
Whatever happened to that? Lowest common denominator bullshit. You remember Shadowgate?
Fuck no.
That was impossible. It was a massive puzzle game that was released on N64. But
remember-
back in the day it was on Nintendo and you couldn't pause it or you couldn't save it. Like all the original
Shadowgate.
Nintendo games. And it was a
Shadow
puzzle
Man?
game. And it was... No, look it up. It's good. I'm the Magic Man.
Shadow Man. Excuse me. Shadowgate 64. Is that 64?
They re-released it on N64. This is the one.
I don't remember this at all.
No. My father
Start.
played this on NES, and he took up the TV for easily 2 months.
Yeah, I know. Was this Bandersnatch?
Bandersnatch.
Epic Tunes.
It was epic. Whatever happened to solid 8-bit music?
Oh, it's one of these fucking games. I fucking hate these. These aren't even games. These are just point and click and jerk off the fucking...
It's a puzzle. It's a puzzle game. These games, when there were only exact set amount of keys on the level as there were for the doors, you'd spend half a day going backtracking for the key that you missed 2 levels back because you just hadn't had an excess of them. Wow. So you got through the doors, you know what I'm saying?
Oh man, I keep going back to the Mega Man games. Those were fucking hard. They're still hard as shit.
God, those games are so good, though.
Best Mega Man game.
Most underrated game. Sega Dreamcast, Sega the Hedgehog, or
Crazy
Sonic
Taxi.
the Hedgehog RPG.
What?
Do you know what the best thing about
Sonic the
Dreamcast was?
Hedgehog RPG.
Yes.
Fucking
You
what?
never play this? I lost
I
my
don't
life as
remember.
a part of this growing up. Sonic the Hedgehog RPG was epic, but even better was that the old Dreamcast controllers, their memory stick, also had a little screen in it, and so when you plugged them into the controller itself...
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, and the thing with Sonic, this one, was that you could get these pets that you could upload onto it, and so you could bring it
Yeah, I
around like a
remember that
Tamagotchi.
shit. Yep.
Yeah. That was...
You know, the Sonic games are known for being notoriously bad. Like,
Really?
yeah. The originals are great, but like
False
the,
memories.
No,
False
for
memories.
real.
Mandela Effect is a universe
real.
where these were shit games growing up.
They are shit games. Was it Sonic 2006? That's a shit one.
Dude, I'm all about Knuckles.
Is it Sonic Adventure?
Yeah.
Which one was this? RPG. I remember Sonic RPG.
Leave down in the comments below the game that blew your mind.
This ain't an RPG, is it?
Yeah. You get to run around an open world. I mean, this is the opening
Doesn't
scene.
mean it's an RPG.
It's a sandbox world that you go through. It didn't have like a skill-based system. This is just the opening scene. This actually
Yeah,
is...
go into the gameplay.
This isn't even like...
Oh, that was a great game. So it's a sandbox.
Yeah, it's a sandbox where you get to run around. Huh?
About Super Mario RPG?
I'm looking for the city. Hold on. Because
Remember
there's
that
a
shit?
city that you run around, and when you want to go find the next thing, you have to go into it. It was sandbox.
Yeah, it's not an RPG. I was expecting like
Yeah,
turn-based.
I mean, I guess it
fucking
was kind
play.
of set up more like Mario 64.
Remember Super Mario RPG? Remember the original one?
No.
Legend of the Seven Stars? You don't remember that one? That game's epic.
It's a super anime sounding title.
It's fucking great. It's fucking real good. You had to remember this one.
What is this?
Some dude speedrun. Speedrunning RPGs, what a fucking boring task.
Yeah, I know, man. I'm not quite sure
Oh,
you
man.
should be able to speedrun an RPG.
Good evening, everybody.
That was like you were saying the other day, someone sped run Indigo Valley.
Super Mario RPG.
And like,
Indigo Valley.
not
I mean,
Indigo
Stardew Valley.
Stardew Valley, yeah. Why do I keep calling it Indigo Valley? I must have called it Mandella Effect.
New changes over the last
Because you keep telling yourself that, and then you keep playing telephone with your memory.
Super Mario RPG.
This guy kind of looks like exactly the kind of guy that I would imagine to speedrun an RPG.
World record
Yeah,
holder.
get into it.
Give him a round of applause,
Into the
everyone.
game.
And our commentators.
Show gameplay.
All right, break it down. Hit me up here.
Found he's just completely outclassed by Peach, but you'll see what that glitch is about halfway through the run.
Why do I not remember this at all?
I don't know.
That's,
This was
we
a
got that
big
to look
fucking
forward to.
deal when it came out.
Jumping in the center walkway is also for camera management. It's not just for fun.
Never played this.
I'm going to now.
Popular launch.
You had to have played this.
Yeah,
This is epic. Like, yeah.
Let's just be honest, all right? I had a period of my life where I abused far too much stuff. I've had my memory is shit for a reason, and it's coming back to me. Don't get me wrong, through a lot of work, but no, I don't remember this really. That doesn't look like an RPG.
So here we have Bandit's Way. This is just kind of another platforming area.
Get to a part where they're in the battle.
between Croco and
Oh, is it turn-based battle?
Yeah, it's an RPG.
What, an RPG has to have a time-based,
Yes, it does.
turn-based battle
Yes.
system?
Yes. That's why it's called Super Mario RPG. Legend of the Seven Stars.
Yes, but you don't have a time-based system to do an RPG. Skyrim is an RPG, and it's not time-based battle system.
Not an RPG.
What are you? It's a role-playing game.
It's more like an MMORPG.
No, it's not, because you play it single-player.
Yeah,
If it's
well,
an
then that's
MMORPG,
it.
it's a massive multiplayer
Terrible at video games.
role-playing game. When it's an RPG, it's just a role-playing game. If you can put yourself in there and you can
When you
choose a
say
destiny.
RPG,
I love I can donate to something I'm passionate about that is this much fun to watch. Good luck, just incredible on your Super Mario RPG run. Thanks for entertaining us and fighting cancer.
I think we probably have time for one more before the fight starts.
We have a
I guess an
$250
open world
donation from
RPG.
Mac. Also wants to prove this
Right?
comment is here to prove to my brother that
I don't.
donate.
I think you're mixing up
no,
strategy
an RPG
game. If you have a time-based system and that's all that you care about for it being
It's
in,
not
that's
time-based. It's like turn-based.
Yeah, a turn-based
Turn-based
system that
RPG.
falls more into strategy.
No, that's RPG.
Yes. Google it. Find it.
Why would they call it RPG, Super Mario RPG?
Because you get to role play as Super Mario and you don't have to play it in a
Well, you can
linear
say that in
fashion.
any fucking game.
As long as you don't have to play it in a linear. I'm not saying you
Like
can't.
this.
I'm not saying you can't. You're the one who's saying you can't. Get me up here. Prove it. Meantime, we can go through here. Keep playing that just because that's fun. And why would you not?
So there's Gino, the probably the mascot of this game.
Wow, there's an actual
Character.
debate of what RPG
It's pretty
means
powerful.
nowadays.
You grab him at level
No
3,
way.
Mario
Yeah.
and Hollow are
No way.
definitely
Makes
not
sense.
Gino is kind of the primary damage dealer in this fight. He's going to be
Well, role play.
kind of
So it's not
the
role
MVP
playing. It's actually like
This is
roll.
The Energizer that we just bought in Temple Plunge for
It is
Frog
now.
Coin is going to
Wow.
increase his attack power by 50%. So his first Geno beam here is going to do 60, and then
Fuck off.
when Mallow uses the Energizer
What?
on Geno, it's going to start doing 90 per turn. That is
Just telling yourself self-degradation. Self-degradation.
Boost, but it's kind of like a oh, nice freebie. That's awesome.
25% chance.
Yeah, it's just kind of is what we do.
Here's what I don't understand
Yeah, there's
about
an actual huge debate of what the
So
fuck
that
RPG
freebie
means
is
now.
significant
Hit me up. I like it.
Generally,
I don't know, it's just
freebies
saying,
have a
like, is it
25% chance to land.
Like an RPG that it was known about, like and now RPG is actually like a roll, like spelled ROLL.
The game having an Energizer is
Okay.
nice
Like
a
because
roll,
it'll make the
so you're
Croco
rolling
approaching
and
all
you're-
fights a little faster.
So this would be a role-playing game, but now certain games have different aspects of RPG.
Such as?
Let's say
every
you're
RPG is
role
based
playing.
around, with the exception of the Red Essence, which is a 12% chance. And for the most part, more freebies are always appreciated. There are some that just waste time, but they can always be sold for coins later on.
Yeah, what a freebie actually does, if
Wow.
you're not familiar with it, is it just gives you a.
Well,
card
back in my
to
day,
use. So he-
Mac,
This is
when
what-
I was
this
just
is what an
a little
RPG
kinder
was.
bot.
No, you
turn-based.
rolled one and he used one. That's just
See, nowadays I would reckon that that's called a turn-based strategy game.
Going to be manipulating freebies to get an extra rock candy, which is going to be really cool. You'll see that.
That's what an
coming
RPG
up
is.
later.
All right.
Going into a little bit more detail about this fight, on previous iterations of the route, Mario and Malo do a little bit
That's
more here
fascinating.
than what they're doing
Thought
right
about
now,
that.
which is absolutely nothing. beyond
Well, I mean, what was your favorite? See, I
early on. That's because they're.
I have this
so
problem all the
little
time on what it is that I
route.
consider my favorite RPG. I'm trying to remember where it ends up falling to. Yours, based off of definition, is going to be what? Final Fantasy Tactics?
I fucking love Final Fantasy Tactics.
Who doesn't? But that's just the best turn-based strategy game of all
But that's
time.
that's more of like a turn-based strategy, you know? It's like chess, but with turn-based, you know?
See,
like,
yes,
it's more
but
like chess
that's
with in that sense.
Yeah, because you have the movement.
That's
It
what
doesn't
I call
fall
it
into like
tactics.
Final Fantasy VII.
Like, yeah, that's
like Final
that's more
Fantasy VII
turn-based, like
is turn-based. See,
turn and time-based too, because you have the time element too. So if you don't react in time, I mean, you can turn that off, but that's basically how it was. But this, you just go in order.
I guess, is that what you define it though? Turn-based would be Final Fantasy, and then time-based would be Tactics, or vice versa.
They're one and the same, I guess.
You reckon?
Yeah.
Childhood rocked. Anyone out there who's feeling a little bit blue and you're a young man going, my parents paid me $10 to go buy a pizza and this is how you're being babysat for the summer. Guess what? You're in the same boat as me, and I grew up realizing that I enjoyed and loved that childhood. It was fine. I spent a lot of time by myself and I was quite happy with it. Does it show?
Sorry, Jacob, your parents were the only ones who gave you $10 to go buy a pizza and have that be your babysitter.
Now I own a pizza shop. Who would have thunk it? Just saying.
No, I'm sure.
Who would have fucking thunk it? It's funny how the world turns out.
I'm sure there's a couple 2-tree out there.
Two tree.
Here's $10. Have a pizza.
Sounds like a
There's your babysitter.
MC name. Do tree dose.
A couple 2-tree.
It's gonna be my new Hearthstone handle.
Shit,
Two
I gotta
tree
get
dose. You gotta get going.
Yeah.
All right.
What do we got left?
Quickly, let's go through what do we got for current events that are going on right now. Let's wrap it up. I saw this one. This is a pretty fun one. How much time you got left?
What's this guy?
So this is a
Keto.
judge. Actually, kind of funny you say that. Kansas judge calls girls 13 and 14 the aggressor in a child sex solicitation case, and he looks like the kind of guy that would. Just
What?
that's this is the front page of Fox and Friends. Had some Kansas City saying that it was their fault.
What is the top headline of
Victim
Fox
blaming.
today?
That's the top headline.
That's the top one.
That was that's the first thing comes up foxnews.com. U.S. top headline. Kansas judge calls girls 13 and 14 the aggressor in child sex solicitation case. Wow is right. Colorado man fights off and kills mountain lion during trail run. That is pretty epic. I don't even know what to do with that information.
What, he killed a fucking mountain lion?
He did. He was running a trail run.
What a
A
boss.
Colorado runner was attacked Monday by a mountain lion during a trail run in the northern part of the state that resulted in picture wounds to his face, arms, legs, back, and the death of the animal.
Nice.
Dude, he went hand to hand with a mountain lion and won while he was already half fatigued in the middle of
Why
a
the
run.
fuck do they have a picture of a lion, though?
Because it's Fox. What do you want from me? Take the half truth with the half false and just run with it.
What?
Rebecca Farrell, a
Here's a picture of a lion from Africa.
Okay, he was running along Horsetooth Mountain open space near Fort Collins when he was attacked from behind. He was attacked from behind, too. The runner, whose name has not been released, fought off the cougar. Is it a cougar or a mountain lion, or is that the same thing?
I guess it's the same fucking thing,
I
right?
don't think so.
I mean, they're
Killing
in the
it.
mountains, so fuck it. Call it fucking mountain cougar.
Sorry.
It's probably a bobcat anyway.
It's a lynx. All right, you keep reading that.
Wildlife officer searching the trail found the juvenile mountain lion's body near several of the runner's possessions. They estimated the animal weighed about 80 pounds. It wasn't that big.
Not that big. You're trying fighting off a feral 13-year-old?
Wait, what?
Sorry, I own a pizza shop. What the fuck? Maybe not.
And on that
Life
note,
differences.
a feral 13-year-old.
I'm hearing noises in this room. What is going on right now?
Oh my god.
Mountain lion, puma, cougar, panther. This cat is known by more names. Okay, so it is the same thing. A mountain lion is also a puma and a cougar and falls in the same category, so it must be.
Lovely.
You're lovely.
All right, let's wrap this up.
All right. So, in summary,
Don't watch the Super Bowl. 'Cause it's fucking shit.
Super Bowl is now shit. Doesn't compare to Michael Jackson's domination. And Michael Jackson could never do what he was doing today anymore. False memories are
dead.
real. Alternate realities are infinite. Never trust yourself. You're just playing a game of telephone with yourself. We don't matter. And a man fought off a mountain lion while he was in the middle of a run, while he was jumped from behind and killed it. What did you do with your day? Next week, make sure you check us at... What time are we on next week?
Sometime. Noon.
Yeah, we'll put it up there. We got the website getting going now, where we'll be able to do this stuff, and we'll have them on a scheduled time. So if you want to come and check it out or join in on the conversation on Twitch, remember you can always find us at the Twitch chat hashtag Burnt White Toast. Otherwise, you can find us on YouTube, and we do have a Facebook site. You can come check it out. If you like it, give us a thumbs up. Otherwise, come join in the conversation below, see where it is you're at. And thanks again to Salami Social Club for helping pay for this and giving us jobs.
Thanks for the sausages.
Yeah, the flexibility to do the things that it is that we do. And remember, always go for them sausages. Much love,
Get them
world.
sausages.
Peace out.
Fucking
and
love sausages. God
thanks
bless.
to Bobby, our narrator from behind there. It's been a pleasure. Pleasure there. Oh, you just lost him. Bobby says bye. Bye, Bobby. Let the chaos begin. Can't even grab the right fucking mouse.
Oh. Come on, you can do it.
I don't know. We got it. We can finish this out. We can finish this out. Have faith. Have faith. Finish strong. Oh, this is good. Hey there, Bobby.